SiriusPoint Limited provides multi-line insurance and reinsurance products and services worldwide. The insurance and service segment offers coverage to various product lines comprising accident and health, environmental, workers' compensation, and other lines of business, including cross-section of property and casualty lines. Let's take a look at the stock. Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Let's take a look at SiriusPoint Limited, currently in the new buy list. In fact, it was the top stock in the new buy list today. That's where I found this particular stock, and the overall chart pattern, really nice looking uptrend. It's just made a new high on the 6-month time frame. We've got our snap tool, which is connected to that new high, which is one of the factors that we want to see, especially if it's been creating a base level right here, and it's had a pretty nice breakout of this location. So we've now cleared up above this area in terms of resistance, and now it's becoming a support and had a nice pop. Not extreme yesterday, and so it's now moved up into this upper buy zone, has some nice trending fundamentals. We'll take a look at those here in just a minute. The overall downside in terms of shorter term to protect your overall capital regarding stop loss is typically going to be around this, the 925, 926 level. Even in this upper location, if you're looking for a little bit tighter stop location on that initial capital amount, then this could be the first location. This could be the second location if you want to allow for a little bit more volatility and give the stock a little room to be able to bounce up and down. If we take a look at the report, the overall trend profile on this stock looking really nicely. As I mentioned, it's now moved up above this upper range. It's a little bit extended from its most recent buy or its early buy from the most recent sell, 14% up from that location, but still up in terms of trend and momentum is inside that upper location, which is also a good location to be able to consider entering on that overall setup. 99 rank, which means the stock is outperforming 99% of its peers. That is scan number one in terms of looking for something that is strong and something that's working. ROE is not fantastic. It's relatively average, but it's at least positive. This does say average financial efficiency right there, but you can see the trending, the trend on that overall pattern. Annual earnings per share up nicely over last year, a couple 100% over last year. This most recent quarter, though, it looked like it had a dip in earnings, and it had a really big uptrend in the overall earnings on quarter over quarter. And then sales had also dipped, but looked like that's also moving higher. So a little bit of short-term potential turbulence on the stock in terms of earnings. The momentum on the stock has been really nice this year. It's had 4 trades up 84%, and all 4 of those have been reasonable winners, 20, 11, 16, and 14. So a nice trending stock in the system and looking for continuation of that overall move. Remember the 4 factors of the fundamentals that we're looking for is we're looking for growth stocks, and we're looking for those 4 areas of return on equity, annual EPS, quarterly EPS, and increase on sales. And we're looking at a stock chart that is moving in this direction. We want to see a stock that's moving from the lower left to the upper right. Pardon me, and we're going to be focusing on the upper end of this range. This is all over. I mean, this is now history. This is the portion of the trend that we want to focus on, and the path of least resistance is still to the upside. That's what we focus on as momentum traders, and a lot of times it becomes hard because visually we can see all of this. We can see where it's going, and we think that this is low, and we think that this is high. But remember that this is all past history, and now the market is basing this price activity based on what it thinks this company is going to do. And we obviously know that it has been doing well, so we want to be able to take that momentum and kind of extrapolate that forward in terms of letting the market determine if there's value in those numbers. And we just utilize those numbers to scan through and look for stocks that are moving in that right direction. Then from there, we can drill down and say, is that a sector that I want to own? Is that a stock I want to own? Is that an idea? Is that, you can then just create the sorting opportunity by utilizing some of those fundamental data and then applying the price action to that overall pattern. And on the on the site itself, on the software utilizing this pattern, that we call this the momentum zone or the buy zone, and it's got a really good trending profile where it's moving this direction. We can change that pricing activity over, or the pricing signals, and see where the most recent sell locations have been and moving higher. Now, remember, when we're talking about a sell location, we're talking about a trending location. And we never know if the stock is going to continue to move lower once we get that downtrend, or if it's going to stabilize and ultimately move back higher. So in this case, you're selling here if you bought way back here, and then you're repurchasing here. There's no reason to wait this out if you're using this kind of a trend ideology, and that is you're trading it, you're buying and selling it versus a long-term investment. Long-term investors are going to ride out any kind of pullbacks or retracements, but we want to be able to exit and then re-enter once it starts to focus on the actual pattern that we are looking for. In this case, you can see if I were to drag this back over this direction, we're continually connecting to that upper range. So this would have stayed connected on this current trend to this low and this high, and then the retracement pulled back. It was a pretty significant pullback, about 50% roughly inside of that zone here as it made that move back. Once it started to connect and start to trend even higher, then we're watching for, this would have been the next one around that $10 range. Now that creates a new trending buffer where we're looking for price activity inside of this zone. So as you're following stocks on the software and you're seeing it go maybe from a sell back up to that first buy, that's the ultimate location to be entering. But you can also buy at really any location inside that upper quarter, as long as it's in that overall uptrend and it's connecting those upper highs and continuing. This was the little pause, and then this is where we're at as of today. So nice looking chart and a nice looking idea for this week going forward. Insurance, typically that's almost like a consumer staple. In businesses, it's a staple in terms of you've got to be able to pay for that. So as companies are paying for things and they're cutting costs, they're typically not cutting costs in insurance. They've got to have that. It's something that they're focusing on. And this is a more of an institutional insurer focusing on different ideas for larger companies. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today. If you'd like to be able to analyze these stocks and utilize the TradersPro software, there is a link provided for you at the bottom of the video. We'd love to have you. If you find value in these video presentations on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to click on the bell icon so that anytime we have an update, you are alerted to that. Thank you.